Hello and welcome to a Squadron 42 monthly report summary. We'll also be looking at AI for both Star Citizen and Squadron 42 in this report, and what Cloud Imperium have been working on over the last few weeks and what they're focused on now for their Star Citizen single-player campaign, and as I said, AI for both games. We still don't have a release date, but I am optimistically expecting Squadron 42 at the end of 2022 at the moment. That may change. AI content supported level design by creating a new worker behavior, enabling the designers to apply traits to various AI archetypes, refining which usables they use, such as sitting, leaning, inspecting, and cooking. The team modified various usables to utilize the first reaction system, which allows NPCs to break out of usables during animations. For example, if an NPC is typing in the console and hears a gunshot or sees an enemy, they will stop typing and react appropriately. Previs began on 2 new products for future delivery, the Dealer Behavior and Pyro Location usables. The Dealer is a mobile vendor that players can buy from and sell to. This NPC stores one-handed items on their person, though if a player wants a two-handed item, they're guided to the dealer's shop nearby. AI content identified several usables to help sell Pyro's theme of sickness, greed, and poverty. The team also continued to develop the hospital respawn experience for Alpha 3.15 and the subsequent vendor rollout to various locations around Stanton. AI features continued to work on combat scenarios. They improved visual perception by adjusting the field of form and exposing more information for designers to tweak. The aim of this is to create a stealth combat mechanism from the player's perspective. New functionality was also added to the tactical point system. This enables it to compute path distances when selecting viable relocation points or cover locations during combat, rather than just direct distance. NPCs were also set up to utilize missile turrets. AI tech improved the Pathfinder system to work with planetary navigation mesh tiles, enabling them to place NPCs on planets and move them from one location to another. They also started work for the generating of planetary mesh automatically based on player proximity. One feature delivered this month allows the player to lead a formation of AI ships. This was initially requested for Squadron 42, but should also be available in the Persistent universe in the future. Now that's really interesting because that leads me to believe that, well, actually we'll have AI as wingmen in the not too distant future, and this might be NPCs that we can hire, but it also might be, and probably more in the short term, NPCs that are going to be part of missions with us. So improvements were also made to collision avoidance systems, including physics optimizations for obstacle queries. Significant effort was also directed at improving AI design paths and how NPCs follow them. The animation team progressed with zero-G traversal, Vandal combat, the medical gun self-healing, and various story scenes. The motion capture team supported a story shoot, while the facial animation team finalized animations on the newly improved head models. For level gameplay, the AI team worked on specific usables to give it life, story context, and provide an opportunity for stealth gameplay. They also supported tech animation in the pursuit of a more tactile feel to interacting with player outfits, and planned an upcoming Vandal mocap shoot. They don't have real Vandal, they have people that they then convert to the Vandal rig, because Vandal aren't really real. It's humans. I know. That's earth-shattering. Character art continued with their ongoing polish and update passes for character heads, all of which incorporated the new eye assembly and skin shoulder developed last month. They also updated many of the crew outfits and officer uniforms to elevate them to the current quality level. Tech design also updated their zoos, systematically going through hair, skin, and DNA for the entire process. Environmental art worked on locations for the quarterly milestone, assisting the flight design and cinematic teams in bringing spacescapes and internal spaces to life in the game's opening chapter. Focus was also on Archon Station and chapters 7, 15, and 19. Cinematics. At the beginning of the month, Cinematics closed out the remaining tasks on a significant sequence that features the Sidnus mining tick, or mining spider, whatever you want to call it, properly highlighting the animation of the articulated legs to help the related teams properly close out the vehicle. The team revisited earlier sequences in the game's opening chapter to bring them one step closer to final delivery. They can now animate all the bridge consoles and chairs on the Bengal carrier, which wasn't previously set up. So their most recent pass included proper chair, screen, consoles, stick, and throttle animations alongside the motion capture animations. The Bengal's bridge is huge, with the area around the captain alone having 8 seated officers, so the team spent time ensuring the whole area had proper animations and polish. Cinematics also improved the block out for an escape level, which is in a state where it's safe to polish the various splines throughout the sequence. This also shows the artists where they could polish and add further meshes or detail. On the character side, a lot of important sequences are now in a state where the team can assess how the current hairstyles and costumes look on key actors. The Squadron 42 gameplay feature team improved the scripting setup of the checkpoint tool. The initial implementation was completed, allowing design to begin cleaning up their scripting. They're currently adding new functionality for object container streaming to better control what's loaded in an area, which will allow them to enable it in more locations. Temporary UIs and nodes were also prototyped to allow the player to dynamically change the character's gender, allowing design to see how it fits into game flow. The gameplay story team updated the helmet attachment methods across all scenes in Chapter 1 and 16. Chapter 4B received several updates, and the team also assisted cinematics with animation for the deck crew during the takeoff sequence. The biggest visual update was to a key ship that now has a large animated welding arm at the front. The Space and Dogfight team continued the AI implementation for friendly, neutral and hostile ships. This is an ongoing process alongside AI feature teams who are still in the process of developing features like Quantum Travel Boost and Scan Pulse. The level design team utilised extra resources to focus on the game flow and pacing details in various chapters. Social design continued to implement all in-game scenes for review and sign-off. Narrative began determining what kind of additional documentation was needed for the game's various levels. This included a variety of locations requiring sign and branding updates, along with proposals for the types of NPCs populating areas. Following design completing a key set piece, the team generated scripts for additional narrative scenes and world lines that better reflect the current game flow and story moments. Narrative will work with audio to generate placeholder recordings for design to implement in the level. Narrative will then iterate and refine the lines to ensure they have everything they need before organising a capture session with final performances. QA continued to provide cinematics with level recordings for review and supported the dev teams by testing changes and investigating issues. Support was also given to the AI teams, testing their various implementations throughout the campaign. Video recordings were captured and reviewed weekly to ensure the new behaviours and fixes are in line with the intended direction. VFX focused on a significant space battle scene that features a mixture of cinematic and in-game vehicle destruction, along with various cinematic background sequences. The team are putting several techniques and workflow processes to use that they learned while working on a huge destruction sequence in Theatres of War. Work also commenced on a fire propagation sequence that takes place within a key interior location. Boom! That's it for Squadron 42 and our Vandal frenemies this time, but what do you think? When will we see Squadron 42 in the flesh? Could Cloud Imperium have something planned for CitizenCon this year that's Squadron 42 in any way, shape or form? Are you more excited for Squadron or Star Citizen? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Some people say I shill for NordVPN, but listen to some of these comments that I just made up. I've never felt the love of a woman before, but then I got NordVPN, and that didn't matter. Doctor said I'd never walk again, but then I got NordVPN. Now I've been running marathons. Also, I got robot legs around the same time. They might have helped somewhat too. I was a tone-deaf pirate, but after getting NordVPN, I'm able to play the saxophone. Go on, Zin, try and animate all of this. Click the links below to get NordVPN. It might lead you to a more fulfilling life, but more likely, it will just help protect you from the terrors of the internet. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For September, it's for another Mercury Star Runner. I love that ship. It's a great way to try a huge portion of Star Citizen's gameplay. If you want a chance of winning that, just comment on any of my videos made during the month. If you'd like to further support the channel, be sure to check out that join button underneath my videos. There's also links to my Patreon, which also helps loads as well, direct donations, and just commenting, subscribing, liking, all that sort of jazz goes a huge way to helping the channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys. You take care, and I hope to see you in the verse.